Hey guys, I haven't recorded a slop video in a while, and I don't know. I feel like I owe you guys at least one slop vid a week or on occasion. So, my life currently, it's been going okay, although I've been, I've said this before on my first channel because I think I made a video on like norm groids or whatever ruining franchises for like you can say nerds, Inkwell, Chuds, whatever franchise you like Warhammer, for example. I think I mentioned Fallout before because I do enjoy. Well, I enjoyed the older Fallout stuff, not like counting Fallout 3, of course, which I somewhat enjoy Fallout 3 as flawed of a game as it is. I was always like a New Vegas fag, even though that game unfortunately is kind of associated with Shrooms now because they kind of took it over for themselves. So I was hate watching the Fallout show. Of course, like I hate the first season. The second season's even worse, dude. And the most recent episode of it that came out, and I pirate this stuff, guys. I don't think I've spent actual movie on any sort of TV show or movie in probably 3 years now because the stuff that I gain the ability to watch this stuff for no financial cost doesn't have like some foreign stuff like it's mainly like American, Canadian, UK films. But if I want to watch like some Soviet classics, you can find that stuff on there. German movies, whatever. You can usually find that stuff for free elsewhere very easily without using some sort of torrent. Anyways, I watched it. In the episode, they had the Legion, and it just made me so fucking mad, dude. The Legion, those are my guys, at least in New Vegas. That's probably the faction. It's between them and Mr. House I had the most endings with. And, of course, in the show, it's just like, oh, they're heckin' evil. And trust me, I'm going to get to the point of this video here in a sec. It's just like, oh, they're just heckin' evil, because most people who are into Fallout are really just like tourists, like, oh, it's supposed to be kooky and wacky, and look, the Brotherhood of Steel, and like the fucking like ghouls had to take Zombrex for some reason, even though that was never in the series before. There's all kinds of uh, points of rape in that show that they've done to the franchise that I'm going hot tirade on that separate video. So in inspiration, I watched this shit. I hate watch it. I think it's because some weird form of self harm I inflict on myself emotionally. I guess it makes me so mad. So in honor of like the massacre of the Legion, the Fallout show, which there's a whole lot of things I can dig to, I'm going to argue for the virtue of slavery. I know there's a very long preamble that was rambly and incoherent, but here we are, the virtue of slavery. And in New Vegas, of course, like the Legion, they have enslavement, they crucify people, all that. And there's reasons to that. And when you ask them about enslaving people, first off, they enslave all women. Kind of based, alright. Total void enslavement. And of course, they enslave men they may capture. And the reason they enslave a lot of the people they conquer isn't because, like, oh, we're heckin' evil. The reason they do it, which is an older view of why you should enslave people, is these people were like under the control of their own vices, hedonism, overall degradation of culture and society as a whole. And it's better for them and the nation that they are physically withheld from embracing their own lower, lesser desires, their hedonism, vice, whatever it is. And that was the whole point of slavery. And that kind of goes back to the Aristotelian argument of, the natural slave and the natural master. And the idea was the natural slave was somebody who lacked the reason to determine what is best for them and their family in their life. Like they're incapable of making good decisions that benefit them and are good for them and their immediate family, like I say, a wife or children, whatever. And of course, we had these people who are unable to have any sort of self restraint or um, moral uh, behaviors, whatever you want to call it. They destroy society unless you either um, remove them either from the land or permanently from their current form in reality, or you enslave them. It's really that simple. And a normie is like, we can sit here and whine and complain about how evil and immoral they are, which obviously they are, but they're really meant to be slaves. Like a slave has no obligation to moral responsibility or no obligation to maintain the state that they live in. Their obligation is to obey their master. Now, of course, like this sound, of course, it'd be like, oh, this sounds egotistical, whatever, being like, Celtic Cat says he's a natural master, which obviously I am. All right, that's why there's so many Anatolians because they got to be enslaved by the Aryans, dude. That's what it is. You just have to enslave these people or make them serfs at the very least. And the thing is, it would actually be good for them. They could leave a more, for the actual normie, they would actually have a more fulfilling life. They would be more content with themselves. And then for, us Aryan chuds, we would be in our proper position in terms of class in society, and we could actually work on not the project of having some, family or whatever, but the project of building a grand, beautiful, prosperous nation that will one day fall asunder due to either you take the Hitlerian view of like mixing the blood and becomes less Aryan that destroys civilization because only Aryans can build civilization. Eventual decadence, which you could also link to the mixing of blood as well with the decadent elite, blah blah blah. You know, but it's just this idea of constantly trying to commit to this grand project of civilization, build something great. Which is like the only desire I really had. Like I would, maybe it's because I played like Total War too much as a kid or something, but the whole idea of just like having like a wife and children and a house, like of course those things are nice, but I never really saw that as my end goal or primary purpose in life. Uh, and of course, red pillars be like, "Yeah, you gotta make money and fuck bitches, man," and of course, guys just read the more nihilistic view of like, everything's pointless, life doesn't matter, just rope chuds. I don't know. I just want to like build the successor of Rome. like many men did in history, or attempted to do, many great men. Yeah, I think that's it for this video, guys. I hope my point was understood, which is a slop vid. Um, Slavery is good. You know what? Let me just add on. Uh, a good test you can do is, first off, I've never heard like a single, like, somewhat convincing argument against slavery. Like, you couldn't even convince a fucking toddler we shouldn't have slavery with these arguments I hear. And something you guys can do maybe is you can go to your family or like normies in your area and ask them, uh, why should we not have slavery? And listen to what arguments they give you, dude. You go up there and be like, well, we shouldn't have slavery because, well, we just like shouldn't, okay? They bring up like rights and stuff, and it's like, well, historically, it was rights of the noble, rights of the strong. The strong must be protected from the weak. The weak cannot have rights. The weak are the slaves who will destroy the nation. You know, so they never give you a reason. They're just like, I shouldn't be a slave because that's like, I don't know. We just shouldn't have it. So yeah, there's y'all's task for the weekend. Go ask like your normie family members or normies in the area, whether it's like at work or school, whatever. Like, why should we not have slavery? And report back with the responses. Anyways, guys, hope y'all have a hope y'all had a good New Year's, and hopefully the rest of our year is less agonizing than the previous, and we don't have to go through more torment than necessary. See you guys.